Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another Dragalia Lost video, and in today's video I'm going to break down Phraeganoth, our first raid boss, kind of go over its attacks, mechanics, and some other tips on how to defeat him. Also be sure to comment down below and tell me what you guys thought of our first raid boss event. Alright, so when you head into battle you can see that Phraeganoth has 4 health bars. The big one at the top is obviously his main health bar. The 3 smaller ones are for 3 different parts of his body. There's the left leg, right leg, and the tail. The tail is the body part your team should immediately go for and focus down as soon as possible. The reason is because Phraeganoth will occasionally wind up and do this tailspin attack. When he has his tail intact, the tailspin covers a large area and it's a purple charge attack. When you cut it off, the range is reduced and the charge color becomes yellow. It's pretty hard to avoid the purple tailspin attack when you're right next to Phraeganoth and smacking his body since the range on his tailspin is so large. So cutting it off and reducing his range will immensely increase your survivability, especially your AI allies and also DPS. You won't have to run as far from him to avoid the attack, which means you can run back into battle sooner. And actually, some weapons can still be in range of parts of his body while he's winding up his yellow tailspin attack, like the lance for example. Also, when you cut off his tail, you can start dodging his tail spins by using skills. That way, you don't have to waste DPS time running back and forth, instead just dodge by using a skill. For those that didn't know, every time you activate a skill, it gives invincibility frames or iframes to your character and all of your AI allies. But you're only able to dodge with iframes on the yellow charge attacks. The purple ones you can't avoid with iframes, so yeah, I would recommend to always have a skill saved up because he has tons of yellow charge attacks other than his tailspin, and dodging them with skills will grant you more DPS in the long run. As for his left and right legs, I have no idea if breaking his legs does anything to his moveset. I haven't noticed anything personally. All I know is that breaking one of his legs makes him stumble for a few seconds and gives your squad some free time to attack. So after the tail, go for one of his legs. As you keep dishing out damage, he'll eventually go into overdrive mode, and when he goes into overdrive, he'll burst into flames, which will knock you up in the process. If you get knocked up, you can aerial recover by double tapping on the screen, or aerial recover in a certain direction by swiping in that direction. This is just a minor thing to do, but it's a nice little detail to always keep in mind. When he is in overdrive mode, he'll start using this move called Volcanic Ruins. Small volcanoes will start popping on the ground and start charging a purple attack. Each volcano's attack range is about 1/4 of the map size, so with 4 on the field, the whole map is in the danger zone. It takes a lot of time for them to charge up, so during this time you want to make sure that you attack and destroy volcanoes to prevent them from exploding, because the explosion deals a lot of damage. What has been working for me and the people in my raid group is to destroy 2 volcanoes. That should give your whole raid group enough space to safely stand at without having to waste too much DPS time on attacking volcanoes. Phraeganoth does have a few other moves, but they aren't really important enough to cover. Other tips that I recommend is to watch your dragon meter. It fills up pretty quickly during this fight, so feel free to use it whenever it's up. You can probably get 3 to 4 dragon transformations off in expert mode, so be generous with it. Also make sure that your raid group is around the suggested might. It's 28,000 for expert and 34,000 for special. At least 1 healer is recommended for special mode, but healers aren't really required for expert mode. Expert can be easily done with a decent amount of DPS water characters at the suggested might, as long as everyone knows what they're doing. Next tip is obviously don't bring any wind characters. Use water, and anything other than wind is fair game. Elemental advantage grants 50% to damage and reduces 50% from damage taken, and vice versa, so it's very important you have the right elemental characters for this fight. And the last tip I have for you guys is to equip the Paladin Defender Wormprint to all your party members. You can get one very early on by obtaining 6 bronze emblems by defeating beginner mode Phraeganoth. This Wormprint increases damage to Phraeganoth by 20%. When you get more of these, make sure to equip them to each of your party members. And that's about it for this topic. I'm actually very impressed with this raid battle. It's a lot of fun and it certainly does have that MMORPG vibe to it. I'm very glad that the raid battle is not entirely just a beat stick, since there are a few mechanics to always keep in mind while fighting him. I hope you guys are having fun with the raid as well. If you are trying to find any raid buddies, then feel free to come into my Discord server. The link will be in the description below. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.